What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite New York Jets subscription podcast, Badlands. I'm your host, Joe Caporoso. Sunday, 12 pack with all of the predictions for Jets versus Steelers. Sunday night football because the Jets are in prime time every single week. We just have to accept it at this point. Jets currently a couple point favorites, but we'll dive into all of our picks and predictions later. Before we dive in, I have to remind you guys that this episode is brought to you by Magic Mind, which I've been drinking all season long, every single day, as a mental performance shot. It has been particularly needed in these past 8 days with the Jets firing their coach, the Jets trading for a new receiver, a couple games happening. It's been excellent support to my daily cup of coffee in the morning. It's not a coffee replacement. It goes really well with it. Time release caffeine that helps lower stress, helps give you a little boost in the morning. This is doctor validated. Mushrooms are organically grown in California. Highest possible grade matcha. It tastes good. Some of these things don't taste good. This thing does. It goes down very easy in the morning. And it uses nano encapsulation technology, which sounds so smart. You know it has to be good for you. Every time that you buy, they donate 5 cents for each bottle sold to mental health charities that help U.S. homeless communities, and they are 100% carbon neutral. We have an offer for our Badlands listeners that is 20% off a one-time purchase with code Badlands20. I'll also put the link in the episode description. Again, that's 20% off Magic Mind, one-time purchase with code Badlands20. Give it a shot. I promise you won't regret it. All right, picks for Jets versus Steelers. The 12-pack, 4-2 this year, unlike the Jets, who are 2-4. I can't pick the Jets to win this game in good conscience. I think they can win. I want to pick them to win. They have to win, to be clear. Last week, I kind of hedged a little bit. I said, they really need to win. It's not a true must win. This is a true must win. The Jets absolutely have to win this game. No questions asked. They're like a 1.5 to 2 point favorites in a lot of places. This game will be, in my mind, either 13-13 or 16-16 with about 5 minutes left to play. Similar situation to what the Jets have been in the last 3 weeks, where they've been in close one-possession games in the fourth quarter. They're going to be there again. They've just lost the last 3. So maybe they're due to progress to the mean and win one. It's just, I feel like I'm being a little bit of a homer right now if I pick them to win. That's nothing but me wanting them to win. I feel like objectively, they will probably lose a very close game until they prove that they could win these type of games. So when they do, I'll be more confident picking them because there's going to be a lot of games that are coming where the Jets are either 2 point favorites or 2 point underdogs. So all these lines are going to be tight in the coming weeks. It seems like Russell Wilson's going to start. I do agree with what Connor was saying earlier this week that that's probably for the best for the Jets. I just think them trying to chase Fields around would be a disaster, despite some of his limitations as a passer. Russ, probably going to be rusty. It's been a long time since he played. Is he going to be in sync with his receivers? He's much less mobile in the pocket. Hopefully the Jets can get after him a little bit. Pittsburgh's got a terrific defense. They're a well-coached team. The Jets can't say they're a well-coached team yet. They've made progress. I thought Todd Downing was a nice upgrade over Nate Hackett. Ulbrich was fine in his debut, and he'll get more comfortable this week. But you still got to give the coaching advantage to Pittsburgh. They have the best overall unit on the field, too, with their defense. So that's why I'm saying this has the feel of a very low-scoring game. I think Davante Adams will make an immediate impact. I think he will help a lot. I think people will be surprised how quickly the volume of targets he gets. This is going to be him and Garrett being peppered with targets when the Jets throw. And I'm sure they're going to try to run the ball. It's going to be cold. It's a night game. You'll see plenty of Breece Hall, who got his rhythm back a bit last week. I think you'll see a little more Braylon Allen. I'm terrified of the kicking situation. I think all Jet fans should be. It's a hard building to kick in, and Zerline's just been outright bad this year. Do not blame the win for last week. I was sitting right behind the goalpost that he missed of, and win was not an issue. He just missed it. So, look, I think you're going to get another good Rodgers game. Rodgers has generally been good the last 6 quarters, the second half against Minnesota, and he was pretty damn good against Buffalo. You could get it like a little over 200 yards, another touchdown. I think the Jets, outside of that, I think you get that Rodgers touchdown. I think you get a short Breece touchdown. You probably get 6-ish catches from Davante Adams, but the Jets ultimately lose like 17-14 or 20-17. And I think there will be a missed kick in there that drives us all insane, and they'll have a new kicker next week. And I know that's a grim prediction, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope the Jets come out with their hair on fire and Davante lights it up. The Jets should be now. You work Davante in the short to intermediate passing game. Garrett should be open down the field for some big plays. Take some shots with him down the field, man. I think we'll see a couple. Hopefully he could draw pass interference on one or two like he did last week without it getting called back for an illegal motion penalty. Again, I think you'll see a little more Braylon Allen than we did last week. He was really not that heavily involved. Obviously, he had a touchdown wiped off the board, also due to a penalty. Not expecting to see Carter or Reed in this game. We don't have official word yet. As of when I'm recording this, if we do see them, I think they'll be limited. So there'll be a lot of Isaiah Oliver, Ashton Davis, and Eccles out there. You feel good about Eccles, not necessarily about the rest of them. I think Mosley will play more than 9 snaps. I think maybe he plays like 20 or 25 snaps on early downs. I think the Jets defense will play well. And that's why this game is going to be like 14-14 or 13-13 or 16-16 late. And, can they make a play late, right? You lose a couple close games, 3 close games in a row. Can you get over the hump? Can Rodgers make one throw or one play? Can someone force a sack and a fumble of Russ? I hope so, man. They win this game, they will be 6-7 point favorites against New England and will have a great chance to be 4-4 coming off a pair of AFC wins that will keep them right in the mix going into a game against Houston at home on a short week where they're going to be expected to lose, but you're in it when you're 4-4. And they got to do that. They have to win this game. If I'm doing player prop bets, I'm looking at overs on Devontae Adams targets. I'm looking at overs on Devontae Adams receptions. I'm still looking at Breece anytime touchdowns. Breece and Lazard, honestly, I feel like the guys you should be looking at for that stuff right now. Lazard's just going to keep stumbling into touchdowns, it seems, every week. Outside of that, man, it's a bit of a grab bag in taking props. Don't get suckered into these like tight end Conklin Ruckert props. Conklin hasn't scored a touchdown in like 2.5 years. Ruckert, I'm not even sure he should be playing over Ferkser right now. So I wouldn't touch anything over there. I think maybe we see Malachi Corley active because Mike Williams might be inactive if he's going to get traded and doesn't really want to play for the team anymore. Even if he is active, I don't necessarily know how involved he'll be, but something to watch for. And I think that generally sums it up. So let's hope this week that the 12-pack is wrong and the 12-pack drops to 4-3 and the Jets move to 3-4. I'm curious to see what the final over-under in this game settles at being. Curious if there's any weather implications on a night game in Pittsburgh in late October. But this feels like a game that ends somewhere, in the mid-30s. And is going to be decided by 3 points in either direction. The only way that doesn't happen, and I'll say one for each direction, is if, Russ is like really cooked and really rusty and Rodgers is just that much better than him and the Jets could get a lead. If the Jets get up like 10-0 in this game, Pittsburgh's offense is not going to be built to come back from that. Pittsburgh wants to run the hell out of the ball, take periodic shots, but they want to run the hell out of the ball. On the other end, sort of the same deal. If the Jets get down, you could kind of see that like, woe is me creeping in a little bit. Like we're going to lose 4 in a row here. Do they have enough juice to come back against a really good defense that's going to be able to pin their ears back with TJ Watt? Do the Jets do more heavy looks to give Tyron Smith protection? Are we nearing Olu Fashanu time? I mean, we're not going to see him this week, but let's double Watt, man. Don't leave Tyron Smith on an island with him. Let's get him some tight end help. Let's get him some running back help. Let's run some heavy sets to give him some support out there because it's not been a pretty season for Tyron Smith, which is a major, major bummer and maybe part of the reason that the market for him wasn't as robust as ultimately many expected it would be. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I will do some version of an immediate reaction to this game late night, probably with myself or with me, Paul, or me, Paul, and Will. And then Connor and I will have our full reaction right after that the next day or in our normal War Room and podcast slot. So we'll be loaded up with content. Make sure you catch up with everything else on the feed, Buck the Trend, TOJ Talks, 1 year, 2 article, all live if you're looking for some stuff to listen to or read pre-kickoff. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Gear still for sale at badlandstoj.com. Got the Last Dance Jets gear, which makes all that much more sense with Devontae Adams on the team now. So if they win and you're feeling a little more like getting some Jets gear, that's the one to buy, badlandstoj.com. Thank you, and we will talk to you soon.